It'll be for an officer involved shooting from a stabbing. I believe 2 officers and a suspect wounded. Scene is not secure.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us.
The Iowa Department of Criminal Investigation is looking into an overnight incident where 2 Bettendorf police officers and a 23-year-old man were shot and injured. It
happened after officers responded to a domestic disturbance call involving a knife. Tonight, we have not been able to confirm if anyone was stabbed, as you just heard in that dispatch call. Police say it happened around 1:30 this morning on Cypress Drive, not far from I-74 and Spruce Hills Drive.
We have live team coverage tonight. Harrison Belsanti is looking into the dangers these domestic incidents pose for officers.
But we begin with Drew Coffey in Bettendorf, who was on scene talking to neighbors. Good evening, Drew.
Good evening, John. Good evening, Jenna. We actually contacted Iowa DCI around 30 minutes ago for any additional information on this case, and they said they have no further comment, although they said they would work with their team to provide additional information moving forward. But right outside this yellow house right behind me is where cops and investigators were at just this morning, trying to figure out what had happened. A scary morning for some Bettendorf residents on Cypress Drive as they were woken up by gunshots.
On their arrival, they encountered a 23-year-old male armed with a firearm, and gunfire was exchanged.
Bettendorf officers responded to a call of domestic disturbance involving a knife at this yellow house before gunfire was exchanged. The incident leaving 2 officers injured, as well as the 23-year-old male suspect. The officers were treated and released from the hospital, while the suspect was last reported to be in stable condition.
And his condition is believed to be stable at this time.
Bettendorf Police Chief Doug Scott detailing the shooting in a social media statement afterwards.
I want everybody to know that our community is safe. There's no active threat. No other persons were injured.
We spoke with numerous neighbors on Cypress Drive, with some saying they heard nothing, while others say they heard 3 to 6 gunshots fired at around 1:30 in the morning.
If it's the house that I think it is, the kids that live in there, they come over and play at our house a lot. So it's just kind of crazy to think, like, hopefully those kids weren't in the house when everything went down.
A critical incident that locals don't encounter every day.
It doesn't happen all the time, but it's not uncommon in this neighborhood, but it is scary that it's so close to our house.
Now, Bettendorf Police Chief Scott says that both officers that were injured in this incident have been placed on leave. And we actually contacted the landlord of this home that says a woman has been living there for 6 months, but was not aware of any man living there at this time. Jenna, John.
Drew, thank you. Well, last Monday's police shooting in Davenport also began as a domestic disturbance call. Tonight, the Scott County Sheriff's Office tells us county and state investigators have met with the Scott County's Attorney's Office to discuss that case and have been advised not to release information at this time. We're also told there's not a time frame for when that will happen. The incident happened May 12th near Jersey Ridge Road and East Street. Police say officers shot an armed person who suffered serious injuries. We still don't know who was shot and what led up to the shooting, but we do know the officers were not hurt and are on administrative leave.
What we do know is that both of these shootings began with domestic disturbance calls. The head of the nonprofit Family Resources tells us these calls are some of the most volatile situations officers face, often stemming from ongoing cycles of abuse.
Harrison Belsanti spent the day looking into this, and Harrison, these calls can escalate quickly.
Yeah, guys, the expert I spoke with says these cases often build over time, and when police are called, it's usually already a crisis. Family Resources in the Quad Cities says emotional intensity combined with complicated relationships can make these moments extremely unpredictable.
By the time law enforcement gets called, emotions are already really high. They want the violence to stop. Sometimes they don't want their partner to be arrested. They just want them to stop what they're doing. When law enforcement shows up, they're armed, that can escalate the situation. Not because law enforcement is escalating it, because the abuser is already agitated.
Durbin says her team works hand in hand with officers in both Iowa and Illinois, offering support at hospitals, police departments, and the 24/7 crisis line. John, back to you.
Harrison, thank you. And if you or someone you know needs help, you can call the crisis support line 24/7 using the number on your screen there. Tonight at 6, we'll tell you about the warning signs that a domestic situation could turn violent.